So, when was the last time you watched a Halo Infinite weapon tier list? No, not that one. That was for the whole Halo franchise. That does not count. So, let me ask again. When's the last time you've actually watched a Halo Infinite weapon tier list? It's been a while, hasn't it? And that's why in today's video, I feel like it is an appropriate time to finally make a tier list on Halo Infinite's weapons, because the sandbox has changed, weapons have been updated, and actually sandbox items slash new weapons have actually been added, whether it's an amazing addition or very controversial. But either way, it is time to finally rank all of these weapons. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One eternity later.
Because in total there are 61 weapons, you could say, in Halo Infinite. Now that might sound strange that I just said there are 61 weapons in Halo Infinite, because we all know that Halo Infinite sandbox is a little depleted. Well, the number 61 comes from the fact that I am including campaign variants, so like the striker sidekick and all the white variants, and I am also counting turrets like the chain gun, the grenade launcher, the scrap cannon, and the plasma turret, I don't know. And I'm also counting the grenades. So with all this added up, there's actually 61 usable weapons. That's even surprising to me. I just counted it. So before we get started, if you find yourself enjoying this video or finding it interesting, please hit that like button down below and subscribe. Also, if you have your own opinion about any of these weapons, leave it down in the comments below. If you want to hear my opinions on the new items like the vintage carbine or the Mutilator, you're gonna have to watch through the video. I ain't timestamping anything. So anyways, let's get started. Starting off with the Sidekick. Very controversial. People love its gameplay, but people have an issue with its look. 7 headshots to kill somebody, but it would take 10 body shots to eliminate a player. And the thing with the Sidekick is that it fires as fast as your trigger finger would go, and it plays really nicely, and it feels, as a lot of people agree, feels really good. I won't say it's S tier though, I'm gonna say it's A tier. It is like a precision weapon, so an unshielded enemy would get headshot from this. For its variant, the striker sidekick, this is a very OP gun. This is the equivalent, if not better, than a CE Magnum, for the fact that it's a 3-shot headshot, but the only difference of what makes it better than the CE pistol is that its fire rate. It still retains the fire rate. It has no bloom, no recoil. I don't think it has recoil. It's a very OP gun, and you're gonna see that a lot of these campaign variants are overpowered as fuck. I can't say for all of them though. Next up, we have the famous Halo Infinite AR. It takes 20 shots to kill somebody, if you didn't know, and as of right now in Halo Infinite, I don't believe there's a headshot multiplier like they did before. They removed that. Yes, there is a bloom effect, so there is bullet spread. Otherwise though, people had an issue with the AR in this game because it was too good, and leave it to Halo players complaining that the starting weapon being too good is a problem. If you don't regularly play Halo, that's the kind of gameplay we're looking at. I feel like the AR fits in well. This is supposed to support close to medium range, and I think it does well for that. Now, I think it's a reliable weapon, but there is like a skill gap when using it. Players who are just starting out would heavily rely on the AR to do damage, but once you get good at the game, or better at the game, people will learn to use other weapons other than the AR. I'm actually going to put it in a B tier. I don't think it's overpowered. For its variant, the long shot, it contains less ammo in the mag, does a little bit more damage. There is a more headshot multiplier. The long shot is basically an AR but for longer ranges, and so this could headshot a unshielded enemy. And I don't know, it doesn't feel as good as the original AR for some reason to me. I don't know, maybe I haven't used it long enough, but for the time I have used it, the benefits of having it long shot doesn't really fit with this weapon. Considering that there is still kind of a bullet spread with this, it makes it weird for it to be for long range. So I'm putting it in C tier. Now we have the frag grenade. B. It's a frag grenade. It's a grenade. Everyone spams these goddamn things. It's more annoying than anything. Next up we have the bulldog, the shotgun that everyone wishes that it was a pump action. It is a pump action, but not our pump action. The bulldog is actually fully automatic. I didn't even know this till I was testing it. This kind of underperforms for me. When you think of a Halo shotgun, you're kind of thinking of like Halo CE's shotgun or Halo 4's, where you can one-tap people from close to medium distance. But the Bulldog is different. It's very underwhelming to me. It disappoints me a lot. And for some reason in the weapon drill, they expect you to hit shots from such a distance where it takes up all drum mag. It's not good. It's disappointing to me. Even in close range, it needs at least 2 shots in the face, all pellets hitting, and it can't one tap. Bulldog is disappointing me. It doesn't live up to my expectations of a shotgun. It lets me down a lot. So that's why it's in C tier. In contrast to that, again, the Convergence Bulldog is a tier weapon. I won't say it's S tier, but it's a tier weapon. It's basically the Bulldog with higher damage, a tighter pellet spread, and can hit harder at longer ranges. This is almost the perfect shotgun. It is so satisfying to use, especially using it in range. It can one tap people. It's just a really good gun. It's really good. This is what I expect the Bulldog to be. The Commando. This gun's confusing because it's supposed to be a precision weapon, while we have like 2 others: a burst fire, semi-auto, and now full auto. But the Commando doesn't. It's weird in the Halo sandbox. I don't really understand why we have it. If anything, it should be like a saw replacement. You all know that one skin that makes it look like an LMG, reaches a cut machine gun. It should have been that. There is still heavy bloom and recoil, vertical recoil and everything. It takes 9 headshots to eliminate a player, but also it takes 15 body shots. What best fits the Commando though, I found, is to just burst fire it, because going full auto, the vertical recoil just goes up and up and up, and the bloom gets worse, right? For a fully automatic precision weapon, you just end up burst firing it like the BR. I wouldn't say it's bad though, I'm just saying it's not that good, and it's really weird to use when you're so used to the BR and Bandit. Picking up the Commando is so that's why it's going in the C tier. The Impact Commando. This does higher damage. There's more ammo in the per mag, and it is better at close range actually. And this actually feels like what I was talking about earlier with the weapon skin being an LMG. This is basically the machine gun of Halo Infinite. Therefore, it's B. Now, it's the battle rifle. I have to put it in the S tier. Come on. Everyone's list has to include this in S tier. It is the precision weapon of Halo. In Halo Infinite, though, it is a bit OP, considering that you don't really have to lead your shots too far like in other Halo games, like in Halo 3. But it is it's still a great weapon, whether it's from long range or from medium range. It still feels nice, it feels great, it does good damage. 4 bursts to the head, 7 bursts to the body. It's a well balanced gun. Now for the BR Breacher, I guess the only difference here is that it has a faster fire rate, but me personally, when you're using the BR, there's a rhythm to it. You get so used to the time between shots that you're so used to this. When you're using the Breacher, it kind of throws off your rhythm, you know what I mean? But then having that fully removed, then you can just spam the BR like it's full auto. It messes with me, man. I don't like it. Technically it's better because it does higher damage and faster fire rate, but to me it's I don't really like it. I would even put it below this one. Yeah. Alright, next for the Bandit rifle, also known as just the scopeless DMR. It's A tier. It's A tier. This fits medium range very well, especially in BTB. I got really used to it. At most it takes 5 shots to kill somebody for all headshots and 7 body shots. There is bloom, or it looks like there's bloom if you keep spamming the gun, but it doesn't seem to affect the bullet spread too much. Either way, the DMR is still a really good gun. It's heavily reliable. It's amazing at medium range, and somewhat close, semi-close. I mean, long range you can still hit your shots, but not reliably. And close range, it's not really meant for that. Now, for the Bandit Evo, this is another S tier for the simple fact that it has a scope, and this changes things. Also, if you notice that the Bandit Evo doesn't have a bloom effect when on its crosshair, and I don't think it actually does have bloom, which is very nice. And it's strange how their crosshair is different. With the Bandit Evo, this extends its range to actually be somewhat long range now, so that makes it even better. Makes it feel like the actual DMR from Reach. Basically, the Bandit Evo is just a better version of the DMR. Though, the Bandit Evo is in S tier. It's a great precision weapon. And actually, for me, the single fire aspect of the Bandit makes it a little bit better for me than the BR. So I'm gonna put it like one above. Next up, the Hydra, which actually got like buffed in a way. They increased the reload speed for the Hydra, so it doesn't take years for it to reload all its cylinders. The tracking mode for the Hydra also got buffed, where it has a faster fire rate now. In both modes, single fire or tracking mode, this gun is fully automatic. Yeah, I didn't know that either. This gun is fully automatic, but with all its buffs, I think it's a B tier. This is like the anti-vehicle weapon. Without being a power weapon, this is a good anti-vehicle weapon, and it does decent job with players. I would personally like not use the single fire if I could. I don't know. I play on controller, and aiming with the Hydra in the single fire mode is it's bad. The bullet speed, or I should say rocket speed, the rocket speed on this gun is weird to me. I haven't figured it out. The tracking mode is like should be the only mode you're using. It's like a necessity gun. If there's a vehicle you want to take out, you grab this gun. If you see a player from long range, use tracking mode and kill that guy. So it's in B tier. It's a mid gun. Mid. The Pursuit Hydra, nothing special at all. It's basically just the same thing. I don't know the difference. Therefore D. There's like no difference between these now since its update. I don't even know what special thing the Pursuit Hydra did. It's pointless. Now we're going to talk about one of Halo Infinite's new sandbox items, Halo Infinite's SMG, also known as the Avenger, the first book weapon to come to a game, the MK Avenger. Like I said earlier, this is Halo Infinite's SMG, not the SMG from Halo 2 to Halo 3 ODST, but it still functions as an SMG, but it is different. This is basically Halo Combat's evolved assault rifle. It has 60 rounds in its mag and was first put in the game mode of classic Halo, which fits this gun perfectly considering that this is a starting weapon, and so this roughly mimics classic Halo very well. This thing shines in close range and actually does provide a reason to go seek out other weapons, and it takes around half a mag to kill somebody. I wouldn't say it's A tier. Again, for the Avenger to be actually really effective, you have to be like really close to somebody. And although the Avenger shines in game modes like in the legacy game modes with the Halo Infinite's actual gameplay with all the movement and stuff, this thing gets a little B. I say it's better than these though. But the Avenger is still a good weapon. This fits the role of an SMG really well and does exactly what it's supposed to do. Next up is the S7 sniper rifle. It's a sniper. Let's go in there. I don't need to explain why the sniper rifle's here. Addition with being a sniper, it also does really good damage to vehicles as well. Now for the flex fire, I would say it's an A. The flex fire is like basically a CQC sniper. It's increased mag and fire rate, but it can't one-shot anything, and I think it does weaker damage to vehicles too. This is a sniper rifle for beginners. Totally overpowered, but it's way easier to use than the S7. Now for the rocket launcher, the Spanker S. It's a double-barreled rocket launcher. What more do you want? Now, the only issue I could find with this is that sometimes, this happens less, but it's still a problem. Sometimes when you shoot somebody and it looks like it should kill them, they walk out with like a pube hair of health left, and it's frustrating. It always catches me off guard when I know for a fact that rocket should have killed that person, but they walk out the tiniest sliver of health left. It's frustrating, but still, it's a double barrel rocket launcher. It's S tier. And you know what? Same thing for this one, the M41 tracker. This is just a Spanker with tracking, so it's even easier to hit vehicles with. So that's why it's also an S tier, obviously. Now for the heavy like machine gun slash chain gun in Halo Infinite. Now this will also include the Falcons chain gun and also the Warthogs and also the turret. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're all the same. It does shred when you get a consistent line of sight on them. But whether you're stationary or on a vehicle, you're gonna have to rely on people to just stand in front of you, because for the most part, it's kind of hard to get an angle on somebody when you're like that. And when you're also carrying it, you're in third person, so that's a plus. But your movement is it's slowed. Your movement is very slowed, leaving you to be very open in situations. It's just an alright gun, and it does okay damage to vehicles, so I'm gonna just put in C. It's better than these two though. Now for the grenade launcher. This is a reach grenade launcher, but this is for the Falcon grenade launcher. The Falcon's grenade launcher has two firing modes. One is its standard grenade, and then you switch over to an EMP grenade. Let's talk about the actual grenade part first. Now, the grenade part is actually really good. It takes 2 shot splash damage to kill somebody, and if it's a direct shot to a player, it kills them. It does good damage to other vehicles though, so that's a good bonus. So if your pilot is smart enough in BTB, it does work well. And for its EMP, it is overpowered. I don't think people realize or utilize the EMP too much yet. The fact that you can like basically stop a vehicle forever, you can just stop a tank. You can stop a wraith. The consistent fire and for how long the EMP lasts for, you can stall a tank and make it just not move at all. So that is going into S tier. It's overpowered, and its utility that it can EMP vehicles deserves to be here. Great damage for the grenade, great EMP for secondary fire. If people only utilize it more, or if the pilots actually give me a good fucking angle. Now we come to the plasma pistol. Now this I did a little bit of experimenting on this. It takes 2 overcharge headshots to kill somebody. I did not though. It takes 3 for all body shots. Tracking though on this thing still sucks balls. It's not good. For single fire though, it takes 9 shots to the head and 16 body shots to eliminate a player. And for those who don't know yet, the plasma pistol can EMP vehicles. They put that back, alright? If you don't know already, or if you've forgotten, the plasma pistol EMPs vehicles. It's not just the shock weapons. Where are they? These. I'm gonna have to put it in C tier. The plasma pistol is like a utility. You don't really use it for a primary at all. It's not reliable. This is like a gimmick gun. We all know the combo of overcharge shot with any precision weapon, whether it's the pistol, BR, bandit, but it's kind of hard to even hit that overcharge shot, considering that the tracking on this thing still sucks balls. So it's C tier. It's below these two. The unbound plasma pistol though is a burst shot, and it's very powerful considering that you can just spam the hell out of it, and those burst shots, I believe, you'll have a tiny bit of traction, so you can just spray in a general direction and it will kind of work, but it's still C tier. Better than this though. And also for its overcharge shot, it can one-shot players in the head, but I'm fully confident to say that you are barely going to hit that overcharge shot. Alright, the first carbine in the game, the pulse carbine, one of the only actual like plasma guns, unfortunately. And what replaced of the actual plasma rifle? I actually think the pulse carbine is kind of unique enough. It's a burst fire with slight tracking. This is the plasma equivalent to a BR. This shines at longer ranges. It takes 2 bursts to the head to kill somebody, and it takes 4 to the body. It's actually quite decent at tracking, but it's only quite decent at tracking at longer ranges. So I would actually say this is a B tier. This is not meant for close range. The pulse carbine is meant for longer ranges, and it does work. It's still a plasma gun, so this is still good in stripping shields away. So that's why it's in B. Now for the rapid fire pulse carbine. The only difference with this is that it's actually full auto. I don't think there's a damage boost or anything or tracking. I think it's literally just a full auto gun, which in this case makes it familiar to old plasma weapons. So I would say this is actually better than the original pulse carbine, considering that it still functions the same, still better at long range, but you get to spray more. And to cap off our plasma weapons, unfortunately, the plasma cannon, it's gonna be there. Again, this is a turret. This is a full automatic plasma turret. I mean, The strip shield's fine, but when you're in turret mode, when you're walking with it, you're again heavily slowed down, and also you actually have to vent this cannon, so you can't just spray all the time. There's a cooldown to this, so which brings it down a little. The only good thing about this is that it strips shields away. That's the only redeeming quality that the plasma cannon has, so that's why it's in C. The plasma grenade though is S tier. This is one of the most iconic, most overpowered grenade in Halo. It sticks to players, the instant kill. Even being close enough with full HP, with full health, full shields, this thing on the ground could still eliminate you if you just walk right over it. It's a very powerful grenade, that's why it's in S tier. Now for the newest weapon added to Halo Infinite, the Vintage Carbine. And I think it is an A tier weapon. Now for the Vintage Carbine, no matter how many people boycott it, real fans know that this feels good to use. And I also like the design. A lot of people for some reason hate it. Like, it's not my original carbine. I don't mind this redesign. Yes, I do have a few issues with it, but that's mostly on this half of the gun. The barrel part, I don't mind at all. I actually like it. But other than that, I think this is a well redesigned carbine based off the shock rifle. How's the gameplay though? Well, it is satisfying. The Vintage Carbine takes 7 shots to the head to eliminate a player, and it takes 10 body shots. There is no bullet spread, there is no recoil. This is like a very easy precision weapon, and also it has a fast fire rate. It almost shoots as fast as your trigger finger can go. And for how it works, for its function, it is satisfying to use, and also in the game mode of like Banished Slayer, when it's the bandit rifle versus the carbine, it actually holds up and it's not overshadowed. So actually, for a precision weapon to be added again, this fits in well. That's why it's an A tier. Now for the Needler. This is one of the better Needlers in the Halo franchise, I think. It is actually really good. Therefore, I think it's a high B tier. The Needler in Halo Infinite has very good tracking, and also it takes 12 shots to super combine someone, which is not even the full mag. So if you're efficient enough, you can fire 12 shots, hit somebody, quickly reload, and then fire at somebody else. Because when there's still needles in the whatever this is, if there's still some needles there and you reload, it actually goes faster than when the gun is fully empty. So it's a quicker reload time when there's still needles in the whatever this is. For its variant, the Pinpoint Needler is one of the most OP guns in the game. It is high up there, and also takes fewer needles to actually super combine, and its tracking is ridiculous. It has the same tracking as like the tracking spanker, where you get that little indicator, and so you just let it rip. It's very OP, very good gun. Next up is Sword, high A tier. The only reason why it's not an S tier is because literally you bring a sword to a gunfight, and for a lot of situations, for a lot of times, long range always beats short range. It's so close to S tier, but with all these options over here, with basically everything else being a gun, it has to stay in A tier. But the energy sword is still a very good weapon, considering that it is basically a one-shot wonder, I like to say. Now for the duelist energy sword, I think this is actually better than the original for the simple fact that it boosts player speed. So if you run faster and you slide faster, this basically gives you a better chance of actually hitting a player from head on. Even though when you're using an energy sword, you should be more like an assassin. Duelist energy sword is a way better option. This almost makes me want to put in S tier. Actually, boom, S tier. S tier 1 and A tier 1, high A tier. Now for the Elite Blood Blade. And I'm also going to do the Infected Energy Sword too, because there's no difference. This is just the same thing. It's just a cooler effect. I think when you eliminate a player with the Elite Blood Blade, it does the disintegration effect. Next weapon is one of the most controversial weapons in all of Halo Infinite, the Fuel Rod Spanker. Design wise, disappointing, horrendous you could say. Functionally, A. I say it's around here. Wait, what am I doing? There you go. Alright, this is where the Fuel Rod Spanker is. The Fuel Rod Spanker is basically a hunter cannon. The only problem is that it doesn't bounce in close range, which personally I'm okay with, considering the fact that when I mostly use the Fuel Rod Spanker, I am relying on that splash damage. I do understand the disappointment of the Fuel Rod Spanker not having bouncing rounds. The shots of the Fuel Rod actually still arcs a little bit, but it's not as strong So look at my mouse. It goes to this and slowly dips down. Splash damage is great. Most of the time it is a 2 shots for splash damage for players, but also if it's a direct hit, it is a 1-shot wonder. And it does heavy damage to vehicles, whether it's tanks like Wraiths or Ghost or Warthogs. This thing is good at dealing with vehicles. Hard to hit it though, because the projectile speed is kind of slow. But either way, it is basically another version of a Spanker. It is an A tier. Now for the Sentinel Beam, the base Sentinel Beam. This thing can be collateral with enemies. The beam can pass through enemies, so I find that really cool. Also, this thing's range has been increased, so you can hit people from range with this. The Sentinel Beam is quite decent at melting people. With this good damage, it has aggressive vertical recoil, so I'm gonna put it in a B tier. Still above the Hydra, but the base Sentinel Beam is a good weapon. It's reliable. It's reliable. Now this thing, the Arcane Sentinel Beam, is another very overpowered gun. It's a delete beam. It's deleting you from life. This is the reason why Halo Infinite's campaign is so easy as well. It doesn't even take a second for you to eliminate a player with this beam. Oh my god, this thing is so OP. These 3 weapons right here are the most overpowered weapons in Halo Infinite. The Arcane Sentinel Beam is overpowered. Next up is the Heatwave. When you're in the vertical mode, it only takes 2 shots to kill somebody. Now, for some reason, I find this being a better shotgun than the actual Bulldog, for the fact that it is better at range. And also, when you're in the horizontal shots, you're hitting less pellets of the player, so it actually takes 3 shots to eliminate. There is no headshot multiplier. And like the Sentinel Beam, rounds can pass through players. So if enemies are stacked up in a line, 1 shot can pass through each other and damage both of them. This weapon has a unique feature where its pellets can bounce, and potentially if you shoot around a corner, you can still eliminate a player. It's kind of a gimmick. I would recommend just using the vertical shots when you're directly shooting somebody. For some reason, if you need to bounce rounds, it's more reliable to do the horizontal shot. Where I would place this, B tier. Better than the Avenger. It is a better shotgun than the Bulldog. Now for its variant, the Scatterbound Heatwave. The projectiles bounce a lot better, and also it is targeted. When the rounds bounce, it will purposely target somebody. So you could honestly just shoot the ground and it would automatically aim to the closest person to you. I've tried this. It especially works with the vertical shot. Just shooting the ground, the rounds will bounce right to the player. Therefore, this is actually way better because you can actually do the rebounds. Many times when using this gun, when you're in the corridor, just blind fire the doorway and those rounds will bounce and reliably kill the player like who was hiding in the next room. So I think this is a low tier A weapon. The cindershot. I don't like the cindershot. The rounds, the base fire is bouncy. Also has a very heavy arc when firing, like ping. For the cindershot, it takes 2 direct hits to eliminate a player with a small pull effect. When you get hit by the cindershot, you are pulled towards its explosion, which happens to me a lot, but I find that it's unnoticeable when you're the one shooting it. And for a secondary fire mode, if you can call it that, when you're aiming in, you can kind of guide the rounds like they're guiding missiles. I don't use that ever, and trying to aim using it and hitting those weird shots that does not work for me. But considering that it is an explosive weapon, it's gonna stick to the C tier. I do not vibe with this gun. And for the backdraft cindershot, it's basically the same thing but a little bit better because it has a secondary explosion where its area of effect is bigger, so I just find myself blind firing a lot. So I don't understand it. Now next up is the Disruptor, and there's quite a bit of history when it comes to the Disruptor. Back in the day, this used to be a very overpowered gun where its electric effect, where it drains health, was very strong, and then they nerfed the hell out of it where it doesn't do that anymore, and then they kind of put it in a nice place where it still does the draining effect, but it's not as overpowered now. It takes 4 shots to start draining health from players. It takes 9 shots to eliminate someone. I don't think it has a headshot multiplier, and it actually takes 7 shots to EMP vehicles with. Therefore, it is not that really of a good weapon to use constantly. but it is a C tier weapon. Now for the Calcine Disruptor. This is basically the overpowered version of this gun. Also, if you didn't know, its bullets, when it hits the ground, it does a little pulse effect, little damaging pulse effect that it has. There's only 7 shots in its magazine because this thing is also very overpowered. It takes around 3 to 4 shots to completely kill somebody, and that is thanks to its damage and also its draining effect. So just hit those 4 to 3 shots and you're good. You can just walk away. That guy's dead no matter what. It also takes less shots to EMP vehicles as well. So this is a very good gun. Good gun. Now let's talk about the shock rifle. A lot of people, really good people, you know, mint blitz and stuff, people that's good with precision weapons shine with this gun, but I don't understand how to use this yet. The shock rifle is a 3-shot burst weapon that shoots so fast that it looks like it's a single fire, but no, it's a burst weapon. It's burst, so you're gonna need to hit all 3 shots to the head to eliminate a player, which I cannot do reliably. It takes actually 3 bursts to the body to eliminate a player, and it takes 2 bursts to EMP vehicles. I am aware that the reason I don't like this gun is because I'm not good with it. Therefore, I will be biased and put it down here, one above the Hydra. I mean, it's decent, I guess, but I haven't clicked with this gun. I've seen people have success with it, so I know there's potential there, but the fact that this is a burst gun as well confuses me. That's why it's in B tier. The purging shock rifle is obviously a better version. The burst of the shock rifle contains 5 shots this time. It actually takes only 1 shot to EMP vehicles, and I guess it does more damage to players. It still doesn't click with me, so I'm just gonna put above the original. Now for the dynamo grenades. This is a S tier grenade. The dynamo grenade is one of the most OP grenades Halo has ever seen, other than the fire one. Instead of an explosion, this does an area of effect, and the area feels very large to me. This also EMPs vehicles, chains its damage, and if you throw 2 at somebody, they are dead, and they only have to be around it. This thing is OP. The fact that you can EMP vehicles with this too, man. Now next up is the scrap cannon. This is D tier. The scrap cannon is not that good. This is the banished version of a turret, and it is not that good. It fires explosion projectiles, but these projectiles move slow and they have a somewhat heavy arc. So it is very easy to dodge them. Its damage is alright. It still takes a little bit, and also when you're getting hit by it, it does push you back a little bit, but the way it fires, how slow its bullet speed is, the heavy arc, it's not that good. Actually, the scrap cannon has a different version, the scorpion tail. S tier. This is a scorpion gun, the scorpion tank, Sheila, in your hands, and that's what you're firing. In big team battle, when somebody has this, they are getting a killing spree automatically with this. I think that's self-explanatory. That's why it's in S tier. Now we're on to the banished weapons. The Mangler. I really like the Mangler. This is a revolver kind of pistol for the brutes. I really like using it. It is one of my favorite weapons in the game. It feels nice to me. It takes 3 headshots and it takes 4 body shots. This thing also used to break competitive because for the fact that 1 shot to the body, then a quick melee eliminates players. Because since it has a huge ass blade in the front, it does more melee damage. 1 melee combo made competitive players pissed off. Therefore, they nerfed it for a little while. And people, a lot of people, got pissed that that was removed. So they put it back in, and now it does exactly what it was meant to do. Also, I should note that the rounds do arc when fired, but honestly, that doesn't bother me at all. I really like using this gun. The Mangler is one of my favorite banished weapons to use. Therefore, A tier, A tier, A tier. The Revived Mangler is, I think, a weaker version. The only difference Revived Mangler has is that 1 shot equals 3 projectiles. It means higher damage. This does 2-shot player, but I prefer using the regular for some reason. I don't know. It's my preference. This This placement is totally biased. Now for the Stalker rifle, another precision rifle. That's awesome. It takes 3 headshots to eliminate player, 5 body shots. If you pace your shots well, you can continue firing forever. It's basically a DMR version for the Banished. The Stalker rifle is more meant to be at longer ranges than close range, so it's not really like the DMR range or the Bandit range, where this range, it's more like longer ranges than that, considering that has the 4x zoom. But I'll say it's B tier. It's alright, I guess. For its variant, the Stalker Rifle Ultra, the difference is that it has a faster fire rate and each shot produces less heat than its regular one, so you can have more continuous shots before it needs to cool down. I'm gonna just put it there right next to it. There's no difference. Alright, the Ravager time. Now this weapon has a little bit of history too, because this thing needed to be buffed, and now where it is current Halo Infinite, I think it is an okay gun. I say it's B tier for the reasons that it takes only 2 bursts to eliminate a player. It is a burst shot weapon with a heavy arc. This kind of does decent damage to vehicles, and its secondary fire is, again, an area effect kind of deal where it sets the ground on fire. I found out though, this secondary fire is not able to eliminate a player at full HP, so that's kind of disappointing. But what I also found out, the secondary fire area of effect does burn players through vehicles. Also, I do like the feeling of this gun. This gun feels really nice to me, so I'm putting it in the B tier. I think they buffed this gun enough where it's worthy of the B tier. The Ravager Rebound also has history to it. This used to be the worst version in Halo Infinite, having its projectiles bounce everywhere and dealing basically no damage. But nowadays, this functions more like a brute shot. Therefore, this goes A tier. You can spam this and get kills. The secondary fire is, I think, still the same, but its primary fire is a single shot projectile that does heavy damage. Next up is the Skewer, the most brute weapon ever. This literally is a giant spike sniper rifle. Anti-personnel, anti-vehicle, all of the above. Alright, the Skewer can one-shot players and also banshees and wasps, mongooses and gun goose. It can 3-shot ghost, rocket hog, warthog, and also the razorback, and 4 shots wraiths, scorpions, and the falcon. The Skewer, for being a single shot, is A tier. Hitting players is alright, but you mostly want to use the Skewer on vehicles, which I will put here. It also is really fun to hit those shots. Now, the volatile Skewer fires an explosive spike, so if you miss somebody, the spike will explode. Also, if you get a direct hit on anything, its spike will also just instantly explode, dealing more damage to vehicles, and of course, this will single fire an enemy. Also, I did notice that it is a slightly faster reload speed, so it is quite a little bit better than the original Skewer. Spike grenades, D tier. It's really hard to use. The only effectively way to eliminate a player using spike grenades is by sticking. Also, those spikes that shoots off bounce around the walls, but that barely does enough damage to justify it. So it's a really weak grenade, so that's why it's in D tier. Now for the Gravity Hammer, and yes, this picture is from Fortnite. The Gravity Hammer, it has to be A tier. Higher than the sword, A tier. Gravity Hammer. I wanted to put it in S tier, but then again, guns. Look at these guns compared to the hammer. You have to be close range for this. But anyways, the Gravity Hammer actually has been buffed in Halo Infinite. Its range is what's been buffed. You can hit players a lot farther than you used to of like early Halo Infinite, but it still has that kind of longer wind up to slamming it down compared to the previous Halo games, but it is still a good hammer. Also, this does apply gravity effects to yourself now. Unlike in Griffball, you can bounce, you can do the bouncing backwards kind of trick. The Rushdown Hammer, the difference with this and the regular hammer is that you have an increased jump. I'm putting that a little bit lower. I don't think having a higher jump height helps that much, and I don't see how jumping higher has a better effect. Maybe it's because it's slammed down better. I don't know. I don't know. Still a hammer though. All right, the Diminisher out of Hope. is going to the S tier. Now, why is it in the S tier? Is because it looks fucking baller. And the recording footage that right now, unfortunately, my weapon skin kind of coats over this hammer, which I'm so sorry. And I did not know that till I was testing everything. But also, this thing has the most range out of all the hammers. It has a cool little effect where when you slam it down, it does a pulse effect in front of you. So it has even more increase in range of effectiveness. So S tier. Now the last weapon of the tier list of Halo Infinite, and also the very first original weapon to come to Halo Infinite post launch, the Mutilator. Alright, we got some things to talk about here. Brief summary of the Mutilator: it is a double barrel shotgun with a gravity hammer attached to it. The Mutilator has two firing modes, one single shot and another one is the two fire shot. Now the single fire shot can and will one tap people from actually a decent range. I wouldn't say long range, but medium range is possible with the double barrel shot. This is the kind of shotgun I was expecting to have, and I'm so glad I have this now. When you're using the single fire shot, it is a tiny bit weaker, but it is still able to one tap players from more of a closer range, but it still has that ability. And of course, you get two shots, so yeah, always better. I have to note, the hammer of this gun lasts forever. There is no limiting factor of using the hammer part. It is weaker than the gravity hammer. It can one-shot players from close range. It also pushes back players a little bit. But what shines the most of this, it has a very funny and strong physics with vehicles. You can make warthogs go flying with this thing. It is so fun to use against vehicles. This is a really good gun, really good addition, very fun, very, very OP for power weapons, very good. This has to go in A tier. I say it's above the Mangler, maybe above the swords even. This is a 2-in-1 kind of gun, a double barrel shotgun with a gravity hammer head. And I think with all of that, this right here is my Halo Infinite weapon tier list of 2025, late August, maybe September, if my upload schedule isn't fucked up. It's now October, and when I first recorded the first half of this video, it was August, so this video has taken 2 months to make. Anyways, I have a few more things to add, because although in the beginning of the video where I said there was 61 weapons that you could use in this game, I kind of extended that for fun and to make more work for myself. Now it's 61, 62, 63, 64. These are doubles. 60. I need to recount that. 61, 62, 63, 4, 65, now 66. 66 weapons in total. And now I realize that the fusion coils are counted separately, which some of you might have an issue with, which you can suck my balls if you have a problem with that. But anyways, it's time to rank some more shit with the fusion coils. We're just gonna put the orange ones C tier. They fucking suck. This one and the plasmas. For the first time ever in Halo Infinite, you can throw fusion coils at other players, which is very funny and like a big dick move you can do. But it's like high risk, high reward, because you can easily very much kill yourself with these things. But if you hit an enemy player directly, it's an insta kill, so it is fine. The reason why these two are in the C tier is because they are the most basic bitch thing. They do the exact same thing. There is no difference. But for the other two, like the electric fusion coil, this one's actually going to B tier, considering that it also has the effect to EMP vehicles, which is basically another way to annoy everyone else. And the last one, which I believe is the best fusion coil in the game, is the Forerunner one. Basically, this does a big area effect thing, so you don't even have to hit someone to do damage. A lot of times you just throw it in a corridor and just all the bouncing projectiles do the work for you, which for someone who can't really aim well is very nice. So that's gonna go higher than this one here. Now for the last couple of quote-unquote weapons are complete oddballs, considering that two of them you can consume and one of them is physically impossible. If you don't know already, no one knows about this, but the sandwich, a literal sandwich you can use to punch the living shit out of other players. And this, although I want to put in S here just for the jokes, let's go in fucking D. The sandwich is just a sandwich. This is just using your bare fist, so 2 hits like a normal melee eliminates a player. But the fact that you're running around with the sandwich It's hilarious. But sandwich has to go in D tier logistically. But even more unknown and secretly, the golden sandwich, only found in one map, and it's a complete Easter egg. Does the exact same thing as a normal sandwich, but just because it's a gold sandwich, I'm embracing the full joke and putting it top in S tier. I don't care about what anybody says. It's better than literally everything because it's a gold sandwich. And now finally, after 3 months of this video being made, came to our last quote-unquote weapon, and that's the oddball, which is a skull. Depending on what game mode, this has an insta-kill melee, or even in like the vampire game mode, when you eliminate a player with the oddball, you gain overshield. But anyways, I don't really know where to put this, so we're just gonna put it with all its like different variants, the bottom 8 tier. Thank you all for watching to the end of the video. This has just literally been the longest fully edited video I have ever made so far. So if you did make it to the end of this, to like at this point, I cannot express how thankful I am. Your boy is in college. He's a college student. I am in college. I am doing college work. And if you want to see more videos and if you want to show some support, literally the best thing that you could do right now, just watch them. As you can see, the watch hours, the watch time, we're almost there to that monetization of ad revenue. So literally all I ask is to go to my other videos. If you haven't seen them already, go watch those. And always remember, if you do find yourself enjoying this kind of content, if you enjoy me yapping about Halo and all that, I'm pretty sure you should hit that like button to help with YouTube algorithm stuff to spread this around. And if you enjoy it so much, why not subscribe? If my words aren't as convincing enough, here's a woman to say it for me. I need this. Please. What do the people do? Yes! I got a woman to say this, so you have to now.